Hi everybody, welcome. It's lovely to have people in the room, nice to have people online, great that you're here. I'd like to just start by acknowledging country. We'd like to acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional custodians of the lands that we're on, the Kaurna people. People online are obviously on different lands. We'd like to acknowledge and pay respect to the elders of the lands, both past and present. I'm Sally Robinson. I'm the Academic Lead of Disability and Community Inclusion. We'd like to welcome you all here. We're very pleased to be at the beginning of the semester and to have such a lovely group of people here today. Jamie, our postgraduate course coordinator, Cassandra, our student engagement coordinator, are here to take you through. Welcome, come on in. Take you through most of the session today. I just really wanted to pop in and say welcome. My job with our discipline is really to make sure that we have quality in our program, that what you're learning is going to be really contemporary, it's really going to be at the front of the field, it's really going to be fit for purpose. And the way that we do that is to work together. I'm just captivated by your baby. She's the most gorgeous person in the room. Not that the rest of you are not beautiful. The way that we do that is to make sure that we work with people with disability as leaders in our program, as teachers in our program, as people who give guest lectures, and as people who teach us from their lived experience as well. You should expect to see the experiences and the knowledge and the skills of people with disability threaded through everything that you learn here. We have 4 pillars that are threaded through our program, and they're about human rights, equity, justice, and access. If you don't see them living and breathing in your topics, we really want to hear about it. We want to know if you see things that you think are not really making your heart sing when you're learning. Come and talk to us about it. We have an open door policy here. We really want to know if you're enjoying what you're learning. We really want to know if you're not enjoying what you're learning. If you have somebody teaching you who you strike up a good relationship with, and then you have another topic and you don't feel so great about that person, you don't feel so comfortable, don't feel like you can't just go and talk to anybody in our discipline. You can talk to any of us about anything at any time. So please feel very comfortable to talk with us about anything to do with your learning. I'd like to really emphasise the importance of getting out of your comfort zone and making a community of your learning. A lot of our students are online, so I'm talking really to the online students too, as well as the people who are in the room here. It's hard when you start to get to know people, to get to form that sort of sense of community in your learning. It's really one of the most nourishing and enriching parts of learning at university, though, is what you learn from the people who you're learning alongside. Because there's so much. Oh, please don't feel like you need to leave. Please feel really comfortable. Yeah. Sure, whatever works for you. So what you'll learn from each other is just as valuable, if not more valuable, than what you'll learn from your formal learning. So please do take the opportunities that we put there for you to meet other people, to get to know other people, all of those informal opportunities that you'll have to get to know each other as well. That's probably all you really need to hear from me. I'll get to meet you, I hope, this semester. I teach design and evaluation, so I hope we'll get to know each other this semester. If not, I'm sure I'll get to see you around. Do say hello if I see you around at the cafe, or if I see you online, please say hi. And I'll pass you over to Jamie. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Sally. Sorry, I didn't put my microphone on. No one would have been able to hear me online. So a very warm welcome. It's so lovely to see people in the room. It's so lovely to see Australia Awards students back in the country with us as well. I just really want to acknowledge how much we have such a contribution from both the Australia Awards students and our domestic students working together to share information about ways things are done differently in lots of different countries, lots of different perspectives. So Australia Awards students, welcome, and we really look forward to welcoming you as part of our program and part of our disability community, and really look forward to working together and building on that. I tend not to stick to the slides too much. I go a little bit rogue and just talk about things that come to mind. So first of all, I'm Jamie Gardner, so I am the Postgraduate Course Coordinator. So any time you have any issues with your study, you need some information about study plans, things might not be going the way you planned, or things are going brilliantly, I also want to hear about those things. I'm always here for you to come and have a conversation with. If I'm not in my office, which is just down the corridor here, I am online and available via email and all those kind of things as well. So my background, I am both a developmental educator and I'm also a social worker as well. My practice background, I suppose, is working predominantly with adults with brain injury and their families in community rehab. And I've also done some work as a social worker as a case manager in a women's shelter for women and children experiencing domestic and family violence. So I kind of have a bit of a varied background, I guess. I have been here at the university for a very long time, about 20 years. So I studied the Bachelor of Disability Developmental Education degree and have been part of the team in some way, shape or form and maintained a connection over a long period of time. So there's my contact details there, but you will also see me in the core topic, which is probably the first one you'll do, which is disability theory and practice. If you're an internal student, I'll be the tutor for that topic. But like I said, and as Sally has mentioned, at any time we're available to connect with you via phone or email or drop in if we're here or whatever you'd like. So see how I go a little bit off track. So Sally has kind of already introduced herself, but there's her contact details there if you need to speak with her about anything. Cass, yes, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, so I'm Cassandra. I'm your Student Engagement Coordinator, which means that as well as lecturing here at Flinders, I also am here to help you and support you. So if there's something that you need to ask a question about that's related to study, perhaps it's related to something going on in your life at the moment, or at that point in time, you might need some extra supports with study or with health and wellbeing, or just your way around. If you're new to Australia or to South Australia as well, perhaps I can point you in the right direction. I've lived very locally for a long time. My background is that I'm a developmental educator as well. I studied here about the same time as Jamie, but then I went off and worked in local government for many years and local community and neighbourhood centres sector as well. So I've worked for not-for-profits and I've worked in local government. I'm very passionate about community development. My topic this semester is inclusion, belonging and participation. So you'll see me in that one if you're doing that for the postgraduate topics. I also teach in the undergraduate degree as well. So as I said, if you need to see me about anything, please pop in and see me. I do have an office in the corridor. I have a sign on it, 218 is my office, but we can make a space to meet and a time to meet if that's not convenient there. So yeah, welcome aboard and all the best with your studies.
Thanks, Cass. All right, so where we are, congratulations on finding us. That's fantastic for everybody in the room. That's awesome. If you ever need to find us physically in our offices, so at the moment we're in the Sturt South Wing on level 2, and right behind the room we're in right now is an office, kind of a reception area. There's nobody that mans that reception area or women's that reception area. But there is a phone in there that you can, with our phone numbers next to it, that you can contact us from there. If we know we're having a meeting with you, that's where we'll come and find you, and that's where you meet us to start with. All right, just in case. I'm not sure if any of you have done a bit of a reconnaissance lap of the university yet, but there is a library here as well that's just upstairs on the Sturt campus. There's also obviously the central library that is enormous up on the main campus as well. They're kind of key spots to know where they are. Then if you, for most of you that are doing the disability topics, you'll be situated on the Sturt campus, so your rooms will be here. The rooms on the Sturt campus, there's 4 buildings, north, east, south, west, and then all of the room numbers are by level. So level 1 is 1 something, level 2 is 2 something. Okay, so that's how you find your way around. There's a great app that you can put on your phone called Lost on Campus, and then you can just put in the room number you're looking for, and it'll give you details about where to find it. Oh, I'm seeing nods, so you guys are like, you're all over it, you found it already. Or you've been lost on campus, one or the other. All right, so before I just kind of start talking at you for the next 45 minutes-ish, I just wondered, spot on, I just wondered if you came along worried about anything today? Okay, oh gosh, no, yes? Okay, so there's worry in the room. Okay, let's try and manage that first. So what are you worried about that I can maybe help you to feel more comfortable about?
So if you give the mic to the people online can also hear. If you have a question, do you want to ask right away? Yep.
Hi, my name is Muthu from Maldives. I'm doing the Master of Disability Policy and Practice 2-year course. And I did a bachelor's back in home in business administration, and the way we, how we study in Maldives and how things work around here is different, I was spoon-fed most of the time by my lecturers and course coordinators, and now here I'm a bit more, I have more freedom. And I feel a bit overwhelmed on what topics I should choose and how I should manage the whole program so that I don't miss out on the core topics as well as get the most out of the optional topics that I have. And specifically, I have a question about placement with the, hold on.
Okay, so can I summarise what
Sure.
you're feeling? Okay, so you've got a question about placement. Can I say don't stress about placement yet, because you won't be doing your placement in first semester. So we can talk about that a little bit later on. So you can rest that worry about placement, and that will all come together as you go along, because you'll generally do your placement in your second year of being here. All right, so you don't need to worry too much about that just yet. And there'll be lots of opportunities to ask questions throughout the program. So is that okay to kind of rest, we can rest that worry, park that worry. And the other one is about the differences in study between different cultures and countries. Actually, I think there's different ways of studying from different universities as well. And so I bet that the domestic students have those similar worries. There are also students who haven't done their, like they have studied like maybe 10, 8, 6 years ago, even 2 years ago, that haven't studied for some time, and returning to study is really anxiety provoking, and you worry about, oh my gosh, do I know this stuff? I don't know where to find things. It's not the same as when I studied before. So I feel like everybody in the room might feel a little bit like that. Yeah.
I studied on block mode, and now I have to figure things out, so.
Yeah, and you are absolutely not alone in figuring things out. I am sure that everybody in the room, and probably, have we got anyone online? And the one person who's managed to find us online, and the 15 other students who are trying to figure out the system still, and are worried about not seeing what's happening today, I think everybody's a little bit concerned about starting new study, like using Flow or Flinders Learning Online for the first time, accessing the library and how to do that, all those kind of things. So we are here to support you to get through the first few weeks, and then things will get easier. I can see lots of nods that everybody is going, yes, I'm with you.
Okay, thank you. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is Amrullah. You can call me Am. I got a problem with enrollment until right now. I didn't do the enrollment because I don't know what the topic that I would like to take, especially about the public policy, because it's doing online, so I didn't take it. And then between the what should I do take, core topic and then optional. So maybe you can solve out that problem.
I will absolutely be talking about that in a second. Which topics are available this semester, which topics you can enrol in, and if you haven't enrolled yet.
Okay.
So I will absolutely.
Yeah, yes. That's my problem right now.
Yeah.
So you can address it soon.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sure.
Is there anyone else? You're okay for now?
You're okay for
Yeah,
now?
listen a bit more and see if we can ask your questions. Yep, thank you.
Does the student online have any questions?
Nothing's
No?
come through.
Okay. All right. So I hope that by, I know it feels kind of, you feel a little bit alone to start with, because you might feel like you're the only one that's in this position of, oh my goodness, I haven't studied for a while or things are different. But I do assure you that everybody else is feeling very similar, and then you're not alone. And that even me myself, when I returned to study, hadn't studied for quite some time. I was first in family to go to university. So I have been in a similar position to you in terms of having to learn new systems. I didn't move country, to be fair, but I did live a couple of hours away from my family or a couple of hours away from uni. So I do empathise with your situation. And if you have any questions or we can do anything to make things simpler for you, that's what we're here for. Okay? All right. Is there anybody that has managed to enrol? Okay.
Three modules, but
Sort of.
one is clashing. I mean, like I need to, the placement needs to be decided on which day I need to choose the classes, then I can get registered.
Okay, so you shouldn't be doing placement in first semester anyway.
Hold on.
So this is a good start that some of you have sort of sorted to start your enrolment out. That's great. If you haven't, that's okay. Don't stress. We'll figure that out. All right. So I'm just going to start running through some of the information and where to find things. I know a few of you who are doing, obviously if you're Australia Award students, you're doing the Master of Disability Policy and Practice, Graduate Certificate Disability Studies, and Grad Cert Disability Studies as well. Okay, great. So I'm the course coordinator for all of the postgrad programs, so the Grad Cert Disability Studies, the Grad Cert Positive Behaviour Support, and the Masters program, both the 2 and the 1.5 year. Okay, so these are really, I don't know if you've found the handbook information yet, but the handbook information is where you'll find all of the details about the course that you're enrolled in. Now, close your eyes and cross your fingers and hope that this works. No, of course not. Okay, we'll just do this another way. So here I am on the Flinders homepage and I'm in the student section. And I don't have my glasses on, so I'm struggling to read the computer screen, but if I go to my course, and then course rules and topics, there'll be a link to the handbook. And then we can put in, I'll put Grad Cert Disability Studies first. And this comes up with all of the information about the Grad Cert Disability Studies program overall. And there's lots of different bits and pieces that you can click on throughout the page. So for example, if I scroll down the page, there will be a program of study here, and if you expand all of those options, you will see the core topics. So the one core topic that you will all do, and it's probably best to do it in the first semester of your study because we kind of provide some resources to help kind of orient you to studying, is the disability theory and practice topic. So you're probably all already enrolled in that one?
Yes.
No? There's your fourth topic. You can enrol in that one either internally, so you come and sit in a classroom, or you can enrol in that one so you're an online student. So you have some idea, we probably have I would say about 80% of our students at least, if not more, are online students, and they are all across Australia. So we have a lot of online students in our program. And we have a lot of students who are working in the disability sector, and a lot of students obviously in this room who have some fantastic experience to share with each other. So actually, quite honestly, while we teach you some amazing things in the topics, you are probably likely to learn a lot more from coming to tutorials and learning from each other, because you will be sharing your experiences and learning from each other, and you are building your connections and your work, your colleagues and community of practice for when you then go out and practice. So going back to the program of study, everybody does the disability theory and practice topic. And then if we're talking about the graduate certificate disability studies, there's another range of topics there that you can choose from. Okay. Is there any questions about enrolment in the grad cert disability studies? You feeling okay? Oh, that was a very determined nod, so that is super. That's great. There is a lot of other information on this page, but I think initially that's the pieces of information. Just get enrolled in your topics and then get there on the first week, and then the information will begin to flow. You don't need to know everything all at once, right? I know it's overwhelming, and you only really need to just do chunks of information at a time. So get enrolled first, come to your first class, and then get involved, okay? Actually, what I'll do is I'll move over to the master's course rule. So again, there's a site for the 2-year and for the 1.5 year, but I think everybody in the room is here for the 2-year program. The 1.5 year program, for those of you who are online and might be in that program, as you would know, it's a slightly shorter program, and you have gained entry into the 1.5 unit advanced master's program because you have relevant undergraduate degree in a health related area and have significant experience working in the disability sector. And so that is how you would have got into the 1.5 year master's if you were a domestic student. And that you've already kind of received the credit that you would have received, if that makes sense. So you've already cut off that 6 months because of your experience. For Oz Award students, you need to do a 2-year master's, and that's why we have the 2-year master's program for you guys as well. Again, if I scroll down the page to the program of study, I always find it easier to click on the expand all, because then that will come up with all of the topics. Otherwise, you just have to keep clicking and clicking and clicking. There are 2 core topics. One is the disability theory and practice topic, which you should enrol in your first semester if possible. And then there is also for the master's students, the public policy topic. If you can enrol in that in first semester, the first semester that you're here. If you want to leave that topic and do it in semester 1, 2023, or you want to do it in semester 2, 2023, that's fine, provided it fits into your study plan. So just because it's a core topic, it doesn't mean that you have to take it in your first semester of study. So I know a couple of you mentioned that it might be availability, or there might be clashes, those kind of things, so you can wait for that topic for next year if you want to. Okay. Great. And then you will do a placement. I think it's best for us to talk about placement a little bit for the master's students a little bit further down the track, because you really need to get into the topics and learn some new information that then you can apply in your placement. You have to have done at least 4 topics before you can do your placement anyway. So let's get through first semester, and then we can start talking about placement, where that might fit for you, where a great placement might be that'll benefit you in terms of gaining information, all of those kind of things. Is that all feeling okay so far? Sure. Oh, hang on, I'll just get the microphone because otherwise, I know, but the only way the students online can hear it is if it's caught on the microphone. Sorry.
Oh, yes. Hello. My name is Hian, and so I have a question. And some topic is the only have the online,
Yeah.
and so it is fixed, right?
It's
It's fixed for the online. And so because I don't want to study online because I just enrolled the public policy, and so it's quite really hard for me to follow. Yeah, the online course, and so and for I wonder, I really want to study another topic, but it's only have the online option, and so I just wonder maybe the next year the online topic can move to the in person.
okay. So
Yeah.
it will depend on the topic. For the public policy topic, I think it is only available online for this semester.
Yes.
But if you wait until semester 1, 2023, there is an in-person option to do that topic. So you could do that in first semester as an internal or face-to-face student.
Yes.
Some other topics, depending on which topics they are, because we have most of our disability topics will always have an internal or a face-to-face option and an external option. But some other programs around the university, like other topics, they will only have an online version because so many of the students are online and don't come to campus.
Yeah.
And that's happened a lot during COVID, like students have chosen to just study online.
Yes.
Are you scared of studying online or are you just wanting to have the face-to-face connection?
I want to share my experience about the online because the online topic is don't have the schedule timetable, and so I don't know when it will start. And so the public policy, for example, when I enroll, maybe this topic start 3 weeks ago, and so I really surprised because my semester not started yet, but that's a topic already started. Yeah.
There's a lot of flexibility within the public policy topic, so you might prefer to enroll in that topic in semester 1, 2023, and choose another topic to enroll in, and you can still change your enrolment at this point. That's fine.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you.
Okay. Oh. All right. So the handbook information is where you find all of those details. There's also study plans, suggested study plans, all those kind of things in there as well. I don't want to overwhelm you by clicking on every piece of information because the key thing for you right now is to be aware of what topics to enroll in and then kind of getting started. All right. I can show you some of the study plans if you like. I might show you the master's one. Oh my God, it's not going to work again, is it? Oh, it did. Great. Okay. It is nice and big. So you'll see there that's like an advised study plan if you're doing the master's by coursework with a research component, but this is just the small research project, not the dissertation. So if you're a master's two-year master's student, you can do a small research project that's 9 units. You can do a small directed study, which is 4.5 units, so like one topic worth, or you can do a dissertation. So if you're wanting to go on to do a PhD, then you need to have done the dissertation pathway. But again, if that's something that you would like to do, please come and talk to me at any point throughout your study and we can work out your study plan so that that fits together. Okay? So you've got lots of option topics in there to choose from. Okay, so what I thought I would do to kind of make things a little bit simple, because students often ask me, what topics are available this semester? So I've tried to make it simple and let you have a look. So in the semester 1 topics will, sorry, I won't stand in front of there and photobomb your shot. Semester 1, that will be semester 1, 2023. So for you guys, we're looking at they're the topics that are available. These topics here, the placement and the directed study, you can't enrol in those until you've done at least 4 topics anyway. So they're the topics that you could potentially choose from for this semester to enrol in. Oh, would you like me to read them out for you? Yes, okay. So, sorry. So the first one is design and evaluation of disability programs, management of physical and multiple disabilities, autism spectrum across the lifespan. And can I just point out that if you are interested in doing management of physical and multiple disabilities or the autism spectrum disorder across the lifespan, you should do them this semester if you can fit them into your study plan, because they'll only be available this semester or next year. After 2023, they won't be available. So they'll be available 2023, but they won't be available in 2024. Is that making sense? They will be replaced with brand new topics that we're super, super excited about. Oh, yes, all these slides are available, by the way. Yeah. I know. Do you know what? I'm the same. Even when people say to me, oh, the slides are available. Yeah, I know, but I need to write it down because otherwise it doesn't go into my memory. So I'm going to keep going through the list of what's available in semester 2. So there's inclusion, belonging and participation. That's with Cass. That's a brand new topic and we're very excited about it because it's about community development, it's about how to bring people on board, it's about co-design, it's about accessibility and belonging in community spaces. So we're super excited about that one.
Just a quick question on that one, if I can.
Have we got the microphone somewhere?
All right. I'm enrolled in that for this semester.
Yeah.
But I'm keen on the autism spectrum disorder one too, which I won't be able to do because I'm doing part-time over the 2 semesters. So I won't be semester 1 next year, will I?
So this semester and 2 topics in semester 1. Yeah.
So my question, I guess, is the inclusion, belonging and participation available in semester 1 next year? No. So I've got to choose. All right.
Sorry, you do. Yeah, you do. That's all right. My apologies. So, unfortunately, that's sometimes what happens with the grade cert because you only get those 4 topics. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with a list of available topics. So the next one is governance in a global world. So this is one of the policy kind of topics. Inclusion and innovation in public leadership. Sustainable development and global inequality. And the last one is working with people with disability in remote and Indigenous contexts. That topic, working with people with disability in remote and Indigenous contexts, is done as an intensive, so you do a lot of your work kind of in a week, or I think it's about a week, and then you go away and do sort of study after that, write papers, that kind of thing. There is some amazing information in that topic, particularly in terms of, working with remote communities, having an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander perspective of disability. I think it's a really valuable topic to do. Yeah. Microphone?
Just, sorry, I'm enrolled into that topic, and my problem is it doesn't fit with my timetable because it's like 2 intensive days. Yeah. Not sure how flexible the things are because, so it's Mondays and Tuesdays, and then the other one is Thursdays and Friday.
Yep.
I'm able to do like Monday and Friday, but like I'm not sure who's taking the unit and what's the flexibility.
All right, so if you were enrolled in disability theory and practice and that clashed with what you had to do in the working with people with disability and remote Indigenous communities,
Yes.
I would say to you, it's like you're going to miss like 1 tutorial.
Yes.
I would go to your intensive and get that done. The tutorials for our topics, the disability topics, are not compulsory. They are super helpful and I would absolutely encourage you to come,
Okay.
but they're not compulsory. So you're not going to lose marks if you don't come to
for the disability theory. Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
I mean, I'll miss you greatly in the classroom. But they're not compulsory. And you can, if you're an internal student
Yes.
and you miss a class because you've got something else, you can go to the external tutorial if that suits your timetable, just for that 1 week.
Okay.
Am I just being way too flexible now and you're getting confused?
I'm a bit confused. What's the difference between internal tutorial and external tutorial?
Okay, so for the disability topics, because some of the other topics are a bit different, but the ones that start with DSRS, they're the disability topics that we run. Most of them, you will have all of the content and stuff will be online for you to have a look at. You do that in your own time, and then you come to the tutorial and you have a discussion about what you learned. So the tutorial, and for the internal students, the tutorial's like in a room. I think we're in that room actually, in a room. And for the external students who might be in Queensland or Northern Territory or Western Australia or wherever, they have a class that's online. But if you're an internal student and you miss a class and you don't get physically in the room and you want to join online, you can do that.
And it will be video recorded for me to go back.
Some topics are video recorded, others aren't. Tutorials generally aren't recorded. So for disability theory and practice, we have 3 tutorials. We have an internal tutorial to external. You can, like if you come to the internal tutorial, that's great. If you're an internal student, if you miss it and you want to come to the external tutorial, that's fine. The reason we don't usually record the tutorials is because they're an opportunity, we're not presenting new information, they're an opportunity for you to ask questions, share experiences, talk about things. And what we find is if we record them, students go, oh, just like, oh, I'll watch it later. And then there's no discussion and there's nothing to watch later. Or if we record them, students also feel a bit funny and they're going, oh, I'm recorded, I don't want to talk too much, I don't want to share my experiences because I know that it's recorded. So that's the reasons behind it.
Sorry, from memory, so the DSRS 9057, Disability Theory and Practice, it's offered on Thursday.
In person?
In
Yes.
person.
Yep.
And you're talking about external, which other days would that
They're on
be?
Wednesday afternoon.
Okay, that sounds perfect for me then.
There we go, solution.
Wednesday. No. So our classes are Mondays and Tuesdays or Thursdays and Friday? Yeah. Sorry?
Cass, when's the inclusion topic?
It's Wednesdays fortnightly, starting week 1.
Yep.
And it's 2 to 5, but it won't go that long.
So 2 till 5 on Wednesdays, yeah. But it's not on the same weeks, I don't think, as the theory and
So
practice.
it's 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9.
Yes, so they're alternate weeks, so you'll still be able to do those 2 topics.
Yeah.
Another question? Yeah.
But I'm so enrolled in that, but my problem is I work until 3.
Yeah.
Is it going to be all right to join a 3 till 5?
Yes.
I didn't realise it wouldn't be recorded to watch later.
Do you want to?
Oh, yeah, I can sort that later. That's all right.
Yeah, sorry.
What I planned on doing was having everyone join me the first week in the class because we may get a few people there, we may not. So after that time, we need to decide as a group whether we'll continue to meet in the room or online because I've got 30 other students across Australia who are going to join us. It won't go though from 2 until 5 because a lot of the content is already on the Flow site. Your lectures and other resource materials I've already put on there. I've still got to put a bit on there because it's a brand new topic. So it's a work in progress. But we will commence at 2 o'clock though. So, yeah.
No, just come in with your microphone on.
No, that's fine.
Just turn your microphone off if you come
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
coming into the class, turn your microphone off.
Yeah, so I'm
If you're
hoping...
coming online, just turn your microphone off.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll still be, having lots of discussion and we'll still be moving on. So, yeah. But see if you can get there early, maybe the first week if you can, and then we'll go from there. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Look, we really do appreciate that postgrad students do have actually a life outside of study, and actually their life outside of study is pretty substantial most of the time. I guess the thing is that there's a lovely balance in there somewhere where your life outside of study has to give a little to come to university, and sometimes that works really well and other times it doesn't. I guess what we try and do is, like, this is why we have the topics designed where most of your content you can work at your own pace. You can do it at 3 a.m. if you want to. All the lectures are recorded, and then we have the tutorials and sessions where you drop in and discuss when you can. All right, so yeah.
You'll have opportunity to post online as well, and so you can have that interaction with your peers online too. But if you want to talk to me and others, that will be when we do that. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Another question? Oh, another question, yep.
Yes, thank you. The first question is, all the topic on the semester 2 is offered by online. I mean, sorry, offline, meet in person.
All of the disability topics are available in person.
Okay.
Yes.
How about the GOVT?
I would have to double check those to see whether they are available in person or not. So you can do that by going to the handbook and then going to the timetable information. And if you click on there, it will show you what when it's available. Whether it's online or not.
Okay, and then what happens if there is a topic like a collision topic between that I saw in my timetable here?
Yep.
Between what we call the disability theory and practice, and then the sign and evaluation of disability in my timetable, they have the same day.
Did you say management of physical and multiple and disability theory and practice are a clash?
Yes, the sign and of evaluation disability program and disability theory and practice. Between the sign and evaluation of disability programs and disability theory and practice.
They don't clash, they're on opposite weeks.
Okay.
So theory and practice is week 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Design and evaluation is week 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. All right, that makes sense? So basically, and it's either in this room or that room. So if you just turn up here on a Thursday morning, I'll either be standing here and you'll know it's theory and practice, or Sally will be standing here and you'll know it's design and evaluation.
Okay, I see. And the second one, what is the difference? I mean, maybe next. What is the difference between DSR and the GOV?
The which one?
DSR and GOVT. Disability, and then GOVT.
So the GOVT
Yes.
means that those topics are taught in government policy and law, so they're taught up here. So our disability staff don't teach the GOVT topics. We only teach the DSRS topics.
Okay.
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 So they're just a code.
Oh yeah. And then let's put the next question.
I'm doing well so far because I've managed to answer everything.
Okay, good. Let's move to the next question. Let's see. I would like to take the disability theory and practice only, and then 3 the other topic is on a government building. So it is possible to for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're doing masters?
Yes, doing master.
Yep, that's possible. Yes, and that fits into your study plan. So yeah, that's fine. If you need a topic if it's these topics, they should already be in your enrolment system to enroll in. So that should be fine. Got a question from online?
I'm excited. It's my first one.
You found something?
He wants to know about that. If it's online.
Oh, see, I love postgrad students because you just like help each other out and it takes all the work off.
So if you click on availability, so what you need to do on the handbook, you've got select availability. So you just click on the arrow, and it says here when both semesters when they're offered. So in semester 1, you can do it. It says online Flinders non-semester 1, online Flinders non-semester 2, or in-person Bedford Park semester 1.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So it'd be online semester 2.
Semester 2 is online.
Hang on, it's gone missing.
Oh, you've lost the question now?
So you just like Google Flinders book, and you can type in the course name. That's easy. That's how I do it, and then you can just find what you're looking for, and I'll show the availability. Just click on availability.
Okay. Do you have a question, Cass, or not? I'll come back to you. Get back to me. Okay. Wherever the microphone is. Oh, Cass has got it. Sorry.
Sorry. I just checked for the working with people with disability in remote and indigenous communities topic now, and it says no classes available. So what does that mean?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. It might mean that it has been timetabled for a different time. I'm not sure. I will have to find out the answer. And I was doing so well at being able to answer questions, and I've got nothing but that one.
Here we go, I'm back.
Sorry. The best thing to do would be to just email the topic coordinator.
Okay, Sally, this is your question you've asked online, so I'm asking it for you to Jamie. May I ask if the Master's Program in Disability Practice and Policy will cover any topics under positive behaviour support, please, or it's only for the Graduate Certificate of PBS?
Yes, fantastic question and one which I can answer.
Beautiful.
The Master of Disability Policy and Practice does not, at this moment, does not include the positive behaviour support topics. And they are only available to students who are enrolled in the Graduate Certificate Positive Behaviour Support. However, we are making changes to the Master's program for next year, and perhaps if Sally, I feel like I know Sally. Sally Kay, yes, I do know Sally. I feel like, Sally, we could have a conversation about what might be topic choices for you to do that might be really good, and then you might even like to transfer into our new Master's program next year, which will include the PBS topics. Yeah. How are we going? Are we feeling a little better than when we started? Yes. Excellent. So I said don't worry about placement, and then I have a slide about placement. For those of you who will do placement, like you won't be doing it this within the next 12 months, right? You will be doing it in your second year of study. So there are some compliance requirements, so things that you need to do to be able to be placed, things like doing a first aid certificate, having police clearances, and other things that are all available on that link, but I will talk to you closer to placement about that. I guess the next thing is about full-time versus part-time study. So this kind of, I know for the Australia Award students, one of the requirements is that you are here studying full-time, so you will be enrolled in 4 topics. A full-time study load is considered 4 topics, and for those of you who are online as well and who may be working and doing other things, a full-time study load of 4 topics is equivalent to about 40 hours of work a week. So each topic you should be setting aside about 8 to 10 hours a week to get through content, connect with people, you know, write assignments, that kind of stuff. So if you don't have that kind of time in your life, I would strongly suggest only choosing 3, 2 or 1 topics, however you would like to do that, and consider part-time study, particularly if you are working full-time. If you are working full-time and you're doing 4 topics, come and see me about halfway through week 4 and see how you're going, because it is a really tough gig trying to do that. So just think about that. If you get about into week 3 or week 4 and you're going, oh my goodness, what have I done? Don't just disappear and fall off the planet Earth. Like, come and talk to me and we can look at your study plan. We can go through what might be good to do in terms of your enrolment. It might be that you withdraw from a topic or whatever, but we can sort that out, all right? So don't just, don't go all or nothing. There's always a happy middle ground in there. There are some pretty cool enrolment dates. So things like, there's something called census date. So what that means is that you can withdraw from topics up to census date. They don't appear on your academic transcript, they just kind of disappear. There's also things like a withdraw not fail date. There's also a withdraw fail date. There's all sorts of things that you can do. So if you get yourself into a position, because we're all adults, right? We know that life doesn't always go as planned, and things might happen across the semester that you didn't expect were going to happen. So please, if anything like that happens, come and speak to myself or Cass about what you might need to do in terms of your study plan. Okay? I think, oh, no, this is really important, and I probably should have put this first in all of my slides. Have you all got access to your university email?
Yes.
Excellent. That is how we communicate the really important stuff with you. So make sure that you access your university email regularly. There is a way for you to forward that to like a personal or a work email address, but make sure you've done that so you are checking your university email communication regularly. Because if there's something really important like an assignment or something that you've missed, that is how we will communicate with you, okay? This is just a note for those of you who are doing the master's program. You will be eligible to register as a developmental educator at the end of your degree. If you haven't heard of a developmental educator before, they're an allied health professional that work specifically in the disability space and specialise in disability services. They work from a real human rights perspective. And there's some principles that, like Sally talked about before, around supported decision-making, co-design, working with people across the lifespan, that kind of thing. So for those of you who are doing the master's program, you will be eligible to register as a developmental educator. Questions? Questions that I feel like we've fielded along the way. Is there anything else that, like, I don't want anybody to walk out the door or Sally, log off and not have had the opportunity to ask a question and to be feeling like really anxious about something when you leave. I want you to leave and for you to go, yes, I've got this. Yes, microphone. You'll ask a poll.
Well, thank you. Let's say I would like to take the coursework master by master, but in what we call it by finish semester 2 or semester 2, and then I decided to decided to take the research. Is this possibility to do that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
If you want to change from doing the coursework to the research component, that's fine. You probably just need to make the decision as early as after semester 1, because otherwise you won't have enough time to fit in the research topic and then the dissertation topics.
Okay, so
if you want to do
okay, is
research.
there any possibility to change?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can change your mind, but don't do it in semester 3.
Okay, good.
Because it'll be too late.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
If you're thinking that you want to do the research pathway, then choose the REHB 9034 clinical research methods topic to do this semester. This semester?
Next semester is okay.
Next semester's okay, but this semester's good too because it gives you an opportunity and kind of gives you a bit more time to do your research. But it's okay.
It is offer offline or it is offer in person?
It's okay. Yes.
In person and then in this building.
I don't know where without looking, I'm not sure. But that's with a fantastic lecturer called Macon, and she can support you with that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Whenever,
The talking stick.
I'm not good with numbers, never have been. Like, it gives me anxieties, but I'm in the advocacy field, so numbers matters to me a lot. I let other people do the research and tell me the numbers, and then I go out on the road to scream the numbers. But yeah, I've thought about taking clinical research, but it gives me, yeah. So I would really like to go through the research path, but
So there's a lovely happy medium, which is that you can do the 9-unit, which is like 2 topics worth, the 9-unit coursework project, which is like a bit of research, but not a whole dissertation. If you want to do a PhD and you want to be eligible for a PhD, you have to have done 18 units of research. So you have to do the dissertation. But if you just want to do a little taste of research, you can just do the 9-unit research project.
can you show that on the study plan? Which?
It is, it's on the study plan, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, Cass is going to tell me that my time's up in a second. So is there any last thing? Yep, is there anything last things from anyone online? No.
Yeah, I have one more question about the. I emailed you this morning.
Oh, I have emailed you back.
Yes, and so I would like to ask about the if I want to choose the two topics from outside of my topic list, and so I need to get approval, and so I want to ask you who I need to. Oh yes, and so I need to send you the like.
Just send me an email.
What I need to submit to you to get your approval.
Okay, so everybody just breathe for a minute and it's okay. I'm going to go on leave for the next 2 weeks, so I won't be here for 2 weeks. I'm really sorry, but I need a break. But it's okay because Alinka will be here and Sally will be here, and there's 2 people called Crystal and Jane who are at the end of an inquiries email that will be here, and they understand what you're allowed to do, okay? So, are there topics that you would particularly already have in mind that you want to do?
I would like to change about the trauma and resilience from the social work.
Yeah, that's a great topic. So what you can do is you can choose to do them this semester, or you can choose to do them next semester as well. So if you're already enrolled at the moment, you might like to just leave your enrolment and you can choose them next semester. Or to get approval, you'll see it on my reply email when you email me. It'll have like the NHS inquiries at Flinders email, or you can just send an email to ask.flinders@flinders.edu.au, and that will direct it to where it needs to go, and just say, can I please have approval to enrol in, and then put the 2 topic codes in there. Because the topic coordinator will have to say yes, and the course coordinator has to say yes. But you can, it's possible. But if you don't want to do it this semester, you can do it next semester.
My plan, I will enroll next semester.
Great, well then we don't need to worry about that till I get back from my leave.
One last question.
Oh, there'll be more. You want this one?
Do I need to email you specifically my disability support agreement?
Oh, your access
Or
plan?
yeah, my access plan, or do I need to separately send it to all the topic coordinators?
All of the topic coordinators. So if you have a disability access plan or a carer's plan, or whatever, just send it to your topic coordinators specifically. Just keeping in mind too that the access plan itself doesn't have a lot of information in there for us as topic coordinators. So if we're not doing something that we should be, please bring it to our attention. Like for example, sometimes I will forget to audio describe a picture. Please bring it to my attention so that I do that if you need that. Or if you use a screen reader and you are having difficulty accessing something that's on a flow site, please bring that to our attention. Like, please don't think, because sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. Like, we don't know that something's inaccessible as much as we want to make sure that it is. So please bring that to our attention. So yes, please email your access plan to all your topic coordinators. 1 minute.
Okay, last question from me. I just want to make sure if I took this topic, and then it is good for me. The first one is disability theory and practice.
Right.
The SR9 OCPIN.
Yep.
And then the second one is clinical research method.
Yep.
And then the code is RAB or blah blah blah. And then
What was the third one?
okay. I mean the third one is social issue and then social policy.
Oh, social issues, social policy. Yeah, great.
Okay. And then the last one is sustainable development and global inequality.
That's fine.
It is fine for me to take in this semester.
That's fine.
Okay, good.
Great.
That's all from me.
Great. Any last things? Sally's okay online? Yeah. Great. Someone's going to cut me off in a minute anyway, I think. It'll just end? Okay. Everybody feeling okay? Because really that's my job today, just to make sure you're feeling okay. Because the first kind of 2 weeks are a little bit overwhelming, and a little bit lots and lots and lots of information, and a little bit of not knowing where to find things. So are you feeling okay? Is there anything I can do to make you feel better at this point?
I'll just ask a quick question.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about that.